How's it going, guys? This is Brad with Best Price Nutrition. You can check out our website, BestPriceNutrition.com. Today, I am going to go over something that we've mentioned before. I don't think we've done an in-depth review and ingredient explainer on. So what we're going to be going over is LeanPhase by Phase One Nutrition. So, as you can see, I kind of use this pretty extensively. This is like one of the first fat burners I've actually used quite a bit of. This one and arsen also, because they're very, very similar. So Phase One Nutrition, they're pretty commonly known for their pre-workout pre-phase. They have amino acids out. I think it's called amino phase. They have pump phase. You see the word phase, it's probably from pre-phase or Phase One Nutrition. LeanPhase is their fat burner. It's not a crazy extensive list of ingredients, but the ingredients that are in here are awesome. So there are 60 capsules in the whole bottle, one serving per capsule. And just off the get-go, the reason that I might like arsen from Condemned Labs more than Phase One is because while they're very, very similar in ingredients, every serving of arsen is actually 2 pills. So you can cut it in half and only do one. And a lot of times I'm good with just one. This is strong, and since you can't half dose it, you can, but you'd have to cut open the pill or pop open the pill and just do half. It'd probably taste really bad. More work than I'm willing to put in, to be honest. But if your caffeine tolerance is a little high, if you're used to fat burners, if you want something pretty strong, this is it. So I'm going to go through the list here. You got vitamin B3, 15 milligrams, vitamin B6, 5 milligrams. Nothing crazy. And then when you get to the actual ingredients, you've got 300 milligrams of caffeine. So that's a big dose of caffeine. You've got 175 milligrams of L-tyrosine. And L-tyrosine turns into dopamine and adrenaline. So you kind of get like a little mood boost and you get a little bit of a rush. Okay, and then you get 2-amino isoheptane, which is DMHA. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about that before at this point. DMHA is a stimulant. It is also going to be something that essentially opens up your lungs, lets more oxygen get into your lungs, into your blood, so you have more oxygen going to your muscles. And you're just going to be able to breathe a little bit deeper. It's going to be really good for cardio, but also good for working out as well. And the stimulation is awesome. It lasts longer than caffeine. I think, at least I could feel it more than caffeine for a longer period of time. It's a lot smoother and generally less of a crash. Then we got beta-phenylthylamine. So beta-phenylthylamine turns into dopamine and serotonin. So dopamine, serotonin, these are things that you've heard before. Once again, these are the feel-good neurotransmitters. So a lot of times if you take illicit drugs, what they'll do is they will increase the dopamine output by a huge amount, the serotonin output. If you take an opiate, I believe it increases dopamine a lot. If you take something like ecstasy, MDMA, Molly, that's going to increase your serotonin by a ton. So these are things, I mean, obviously you're not going to get those effects. If you did, probably wouldn't be in here, but it's along those lines. Those are going to be the things that are boosted. You're not going to want to crack glow sticks and listen to techno all night, but it is going to give you a little mood boost. You are going to enjoy it. And then we've got the citrus aurantium fruit, which is bitter orange. The reason it's ever in anything is because it contains synephrine, and synephrine, not crazy powerful, but it does cause a little bit of stimulation, and in studies, it does show that at rest versus placebo, you do burn more calories. I think the study said it was like 75 more calories over like an hour and a half, which isn't crazy, and it's not something you should rely on. But if you're cutting your calories down really, really low, if your diet's in check, if you're working out, if you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, those 75 calories matter. All right, my battery's about to die. Let's see if I could just power through this. Okay, pop the battery out. It wasn't gonna happen. Where was I at? Okay, so with the synephrine, there are no studies that show there are cardiovascular risks, but you should always talk to your doctor because he may know something that these studies don't know. So I actually talked to a customer not too long ago, that returned a fat burner because she said that she didn't know that there were cardiovascular risks with the fat burners. Not every ingredient is going to cause a risk, but you do have to understand that if you're taking stimulants, even caffeine, if you're taking a lot of stuff that's going to get your heart rate going, it may cause risks. It very well could. So if you're not sure, talk to your doctor. And it should be common sense. You would think that if you're going to take a stimulant, that it could cause undue stress on your heart. If you have a bad heart, don't mess with fat burners. Pretty plain and simple. Next, we have black pepper extract. That is just going to increase the absorption of a bunch of stuff a lot better. It doesn't really cause any fat burning effects on its own, but it's going to make everything else more effective. We've got yohimbine. Yohimbine is one of the few, I don't want to say few, but one of the pretty proven fat burning ingredients. It for sure in placebo versus yohimbine studies will cause additional fat loss. If everything else is in check, if the calories are the same, if the amount of exercise is the same, if the types of food you're eating are the same, if everything's the same, you will lose more fat, weight, whatever you want to call it, if you're taking yohimbine. The milligrammage in here is 3 milligrams. I've seen it go up to as high as 10 milligrams. If you buy yohimbine by itself, chances are you're going to get it in 2.5 milligram capsules. That's because this is a compound that's very, very easy to do too much of. And if you do too much of it, you feel very uncomfortable, you feel very uneasy. It's not really the most enjoyable experience if you take too much of it. The uncomfortableness does go away, but it's not that great if you take too much. You can get like cold sweats and just feel weird. But it is very effective, so, pick your battles, right? And then the last thing in here is cayenne, capsicum annuum fruit, 2 milligrams. With that, there's not a huge amount of corroborating studies that show this stuff is awesome, this stuff totally works. There are health benefits, but it's really not with anything that has to do with fat burning. I just realized I'm just a head on the bottom. It's really not anything to do with fat burning. It is, there are some studies that show, it does reduce a little bit of weight. It does reduce fat around the stomach, but there's also a lot of studies that contradict it. So whether or not this is the most important ingredient, it's not the most important ingredient. It's probably the least most important ingredient in here. Everything else is pretty effective or very effective. I wouldn't be too concerned about the cayenne. Honestly, I just don't think it's worth putting in here. I don't think it's that well studied yet. And then I don't think I said the milligrammage of everything else. 175 of L-tyrosine, 150 of the DMHA, 25 of the phenethylamine, 10 milligrams of the bitter orange, 5 milligrams of the black pepper. And I think that's pretty much a standard dose. So what I'll tell you about my personal experience with this, I've used this quite a few times. If you live in the Chicagoland area and you shop at the Capital Nutrition stores, which we also run, we do bike rides on Saturdays. Saturday mornings, it's getting a little cold now, but we've done bike rides, we've done hikes. We start at 9 a.m. and it's usually like an hour or so. Pretty much every single time we've done one of those, I've taken one of these and I'm good to go the entire time. Very energetic, very focused. When it's over, I'm ready to do more. Generally, when it's over, I'll go home, drink some aminos, something like that, and then I'll go to the gym because I'm ready to go. Just a lot of focus, a lot of energy. Go, 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 go. Really recommend this if you're someone like me who you really can't find a pre-workout that's too strong for you. Then again, I'm not like double scooping anything, but if pre-workouts are anything that knock you on your butt, this is really, really good for, I think, cardio or even focus. If you are just going to take something to work with, this is pretty strong, but if you got to get a lot of work done and you can handle the stimulation, go for it. I like it a lot. So I'm starting to lose my voice, apparently. That being said, I'm going to close this video out. Again, my name's Brad, BestPriceNutrition.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can, get the notifications whenever we post a video. You have to make sure you hit that subscribe button and then also check the bell. All right, thanks, guys.